Hello from wherever you are watching. My name is George Alfred, and of course, as you know, this is Salim Media. This is the platform where I get to post all my content. It is Salim Media, Salimmedia, right? Well, today I wanted to talk much of the campus life here in Kenya. And if you are watching from Kenya, if you are watching directly from Kenya or East Africa, or if you are watching from Africa, please I'd like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, you comment, and you share the channel, right? Well, it is a popular term. It is a popular term by almost all comrades in Kenya, right? It is a popular term because many comrades, or rather many students in campus have gone through this life and they know what this life is all about. A survey, for example, at the Technical University of Mombasa, we find out that many students refer to this campus life as Kuinama, right? Kuinama. What does Kuinama mean? Or what maybe to you as a viewer, you might not know what it means, but to the students, to the students as a large, they understand the meaning of Kuinama. Kuinama basically means you have to skip some meals for you to survive. You can either decide to skip lunch and eat supper. You can either decide to skip both breakfast and lunch and eat supper. You can decide to eat lunch and breakfast and skip supper, or you can decide to skip both according to or depending on the amount you have in your pocket, right? Kuinama is a popular term among the students, but what does it mean to them? It does not only mean skipping meals, it also means skipping lessons, right? First of all, let's look at it as skipping meals, right? Why should they skip meals? Or why should they sleep on an empty stomach? And they really struggled in high school for them to get the better grades, for them to move to a higher level. That's the university, that's the campus, right? They skip meals because they lack money. They lack money. And there are many, or rather, there are several reasons why students lack money in the university. Currently, you see that there is high cost of living in the country, and if of course there is a high cost of living in the country, it's because of an insensitive government. The government is insensitive, right? And due to the insensitive government, we find out that there is a high cost of living, and a high cost of living therefore will result to poor parents. The parents don't have the funds to cater for the students back at campus. They don't have enough funds to cater for the students' upkeep. You find that a parent has to pay fees, a parent has to pay for the accommodation, and he or she also have to pay for food. All right, because most students prefer living by themselves, and even others live by the university hostels. All right, food is something essential in a human's life. All right, but to the campus students, it has been a culture, and it is not a basic need to them. All right. Or rather, food, the issue of food, shelter, and clothing, the food to the campus students, it is no longer a basic need. Why? Kuinama. It is not broadly because of an insensitive government, or because of poor parents. You also find out that the students themselves also misuse funds, because they try to live a fake lifestyle. They try to live a fake lifestyle. For example, someone or a student maybe in campus will see that my friend ABC, or my friend XYZ lives this kind of life. For example, if they are from Mombasa, you will see that for every weekend, for every Saturday and Sunday, most students tend to go to the beach, right? So a comrade ABC says that if my friend XYZ goes to the beach every Saturday and Sunday, if this and this and this sort of a person goes to parties, goes to bashes every weekend, why can't I join the league? Why should I be the one lagging the others behind? Because and they now living they now start living a fake lifestyle because of the fear of isolation. Because of the fear of isolation, they will feel isolated, right? And once you have been isolated from the others, you are regarded as, huyo ni mshamba, huyo ni much of a shamba boy, those kinds of things. This leads to stress and depression. Unaanza kuwa pale na mawazo, unakuwa pale uko depressed, right? Things like fear, you don't want to be close to your fellows, and a case of stress and depression is what leads to drug and substance abuse. It's what leads into drug and substance abuse, right? Or why do they end up in drug and substance abuse? They end up in abusing drugs because they want to counter this stress, right? They want to counter depression, all right? And once a student has engaged in drug and substance abuse, the obvious thing or the obvious step is that this kind of student will start engaging in illegal businesses. In illegal businesses at other kuuza bangi, at other things like theft, right? And of course, by the end of the day, utapata kwamba ameshikwa pale, right? Or most of them end up in the streets. That is a life shattered, all right? Some of them end up behind bars because once you are taken to prison and you are found that you are in possession of drugs or illegal drugs, that is, of course you'll be behind bars, right? And such things. Of course, if you die, the next place you go to is the hell. Within the biguni. God himself will not understand that you are suffering. Utanda kuzimu. You go to hell, right? In case of skipping lessons, let's look at it as in case of skipping lessons. It leads to academic failure or academic deterioration. It leads to academic failure because once you don't attain the 75% required by most universities in Kenya, you won't do the exams at the end of the year or at the end of the semester, and this was what leads to the retakes and the supplementary Nuna soups by the students, all right? And such a case of retakes, a student can just decide, shule ikae, kwani nini? Why should I suffer because of schooling? So utapata that he or she drops out of school, and of course once you dropped out of school, your life is shattered. You are doomed. Hakuna penye unaweza enda tena, right? Kuinama does not just mean that it impacts negatively on the students. On a shallower part, if I must say, it also hardens a student. It hardens you, right? It prepares him or her for savings in future and more income in terms of saving, and he or she ends up a better person, right? And if this issue is now a matter of concern, and we must start talking about it as early as now. It has been a matter of concern, na lazima tulizungumzie, because a number of students are now trying to say that, or rather, a number of students are now trying to say or argue that the government should allocate funds, especially for university students, because the kind of suffering they go through is unexplainable. So they are trying to say that the government should set aside funds, especially for the university students to help them cater for their needs here at the university, right? A number of them live in shanties. I'm using a case of Mombasa. A number of them live in very poor poor settlements, by the way, in shanties, in muddy, dirty places, and this is some sort of students that was back in high school was giving his best in the KCS. He was giving his best was alikuwa na kesha usiku yote akisoma because he wanted to move to a higher level. Now at this point he or she starts to regret, mbona nimekuja university? Is this the kind of life that our teachers back then at high school were promising us? Because you can't. I remember at high school, when your teachers are revising with you pale, wanakwambia, oh, work hard, the life at campus is enjoyable, there's much freedom, there's ni kama binguni, right? And so students wanakuwa na hiyo motivation. The students have that morale. Acha nisome nifike huko nione kenye what my teachers were going through. But now when they come to the campus itself, they see it with their own eyes and they say, like, really? Is this the kind of life we are being taught is enjoyable, there's much freedom, ni kama binguni? And they say no. They say no. Wanasema, if this is the case, wachikae. And this has been silent media, of course. If there's any comments you can drop, just drop them there. I'll be able to read them, and maybe I'll have time to reply to some of your comments. Just tell me if you're a comrade out there, if you're a student out there, just tell me some of the things you are going through as a comrade, and share more in the life of Kuinama. Let's have a discussion on it. Let's have a debate on it. Let's talk about it, and we find the best solution to this base that is almost consuming almost all the university students in Kenya. All right. Talk to me. This has been Sally Media. My name is George Alfred. See you next time. Same place, same time.